Good evening, everyone. Today is December 9th, the monthly meeting for the Merrimack Agriculture Commission. Welcome to all. Any comments from the press or public? Seeing none, we're going to move on to new agenda, new business. Last month we started with new ideas for the commission next year, but i.e. enrollment, things like that. You guys have any feedback to give me? Now that we had a month to think about this, any ideas popping?
Like for a way to get new members?
New members, things to do next year besides what we normally do, new incentives, promotional things.
Well,
Anything that pops in your head.
do you suppose we could send notice of some kind to, like Jolie, the 4-H, maybe there's some other members that have graduated that are 18 years or older that we could maybe send letters out to maybe get their interest, maybe even to the high school, because, I mean, some kids are older.
Mm-hmm. Potential.
Mm-hmm.
Future
I
potential.
mean, they don't know unless you physically send something out so it brings it to their attention.
Mm-hmm.
And just,
You have an idea of the format that letter, Bess?
no. You said ideas.
Maybe. Thank you. I think it's a great idea.
But the thing is, I think that's the only way we're ever really going
Correct.
to do anything
Yeah.
is because it's, we have to promote ourselves, and the only way you can do that is physically
Put it out there.
having something, putting it out, notices on the bulletin board at the tech school in Hudson.
Correct. Right.
It doesn't necessarily, maybe their parents are interested in, but they don't really.
We could also start early and put it on Channel 20, Merrimack TV.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of advertisement that way for potential.
Yeah, exactly.
Certainly 4-H
We
is-
should have something rolling on the regular for that. And I mean, it is when you target things like 4-H. I mean, those people we already know are interested in agriculture in some form or another. So
Yeah, I mean.
probably
more-
a greater interest than someone who's just has the green thumb in their backyard.
Correct. But if we reach out to Jolie early in the January, February months,
Well, because there are 4-Hers that have reached their goal in 4-H, so they're older. What is it, 18? Is that you know more about
FFA,
that.
Well,
Ronnie, what is
18,
it?
you age out of 4-H, depending on your birthday. So I had an extra year in it because my birthday was,
Like going to school.
well, on the calendar year. So like my birthday was January 10th. So, well, it still is, but when it came time for it, I like missed it by 10 days. So I had an extra year involved to show. But 18 is the cutoff for 4-H. FFA, I think you can go a little longer, to when you're in college or so.
Yeah, there's another thought, the FFA, which is probably, well, that would be at the high school, probably like Alvern, where they have the,
The real ag school.
As far as membership participation, that you have to be a town resident still, right? We haven't
Correct.
changed anything in the bylaws or anything.
That's correct. I'm just looking to stimulate an idea, because it's going to be a turn of a new
well,
year.
how
pretty
about
soon.
also, it wouldn't hurt, you know which gardeners are Merrimack residents, and when you send out the notices, maybe you put a little extra slip in there, promote, trying to say, would you be interested in,
I can put that into a bottom line. Normally now the community gardeners were emailing everybody. We're trying to
well,
minimize.
however you
paperwork.
reach them, the Merrimack ones, you could put a little
a little
extra
book to that.
thing that, about,
Well, even if you just sent an email out, just emphasizing, we're looking for new members and they are active gardeners and we certainly could use their help. They're already participating in one way. Maybe they'd be interested in participating in more. And
And then
email's free,
us-
right?
Thank you. Yes, and then us as commissioners too, if we have any fruitful ideas, that could turn into something.
I think I mentioned that in the notes there, about high school and 4-H members, social media.
Only because the new year is coming upon us really quickly.
I had I had a Zoom meeting for the Sheep and Wool Growers Association. After that, I had mentioned to Jolie I need to talk to her, to have her give me a call. I'll call you as soon as I can. So I'm going to try calling her again this week, get some input for scholarship ideas, people that might need help with animal, livestock, questions, concerns.
They're all doing webinars right now, Ronnie, right?
Right, mostly Zoom meetings. So it'd have
Yeah.
to be either one of us talks to said person on the phone, like we talked
I
about.
just took one from the EPA last week, one afternoon. A lot of that stuff is safer, for the moment.
Right.
Anyway, I just want to get that idea out there. Keep the thoughts coming. Moving on, item B is the annual report is due January 8th,
Again.
2021. It's different than the physical presentation.
What are we gonna do for that, Bob?
This is a one-page history chronology of what we did last year. It goes in the big book. Gets printed.
Well, we don't change too much, or we probably can use this.
They asked us to talk about how the pandemic is affecting us.
Well, I don't really think it's affected us too
Well, they
big.
changed the community garden.
Excuse
the summer market.
Changes,
Yeah, well-
definitely
Safety and all that.
affected the summer market. I think affected some of the turnout of the summer market.
So
think
if
we
you
had-
guys have any
well-
ideas between now and then, you want to slip me a paragraph, Ronnie?
I mean, from what I saw at the garden, I think membership for the community garden was a little higher this year than, and
There were bigger plots.
bigger plots. And I think the pandemic had something to do with that. People wanted to, garden more, be more self-reliant.
We lost a
could add-
tent. to
How was the
pandemic.
garden as far as
We lost.
participation?
Yeah.
I want to say 44 or 46 plots.
Was
were
that
taken.
down from the year before?
Maybe 48 the year before? I mean,
So, I mean,
we're right
status
there.
quo
we're
then.
right there, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. The veteran gardeners perform better because they're right on it from the beginning, and they keep their plots neater and they know what they're doing. The new people struggle. They struggle to keep up. And also last year we had a drought. So that affected a lot of the product getting mature. And, not everybody wants to take a pill and water everything every day,
The pandemic, as far as it impacted our farmers market quite a bit with all the
Well, as far
extra
as
precautions
yeah.
we took to make sure everybody was safe at the market.
Well, we had to take safety classes,
Safety courses, funding to help us make sure everybody was safe at the market.
New paperwork for our PPE, which is a struggle at times.
I dread it next year. Anyway, okay, I got some ideas.
I painted the kiosk at the.
If you guys have any thoughts, so shoot me an email or something.
Yeah, Ronnie was.
How do you spell
yeah,
that, by the way? I
painter.
just go by message board.
Yeah, Ronnie painted
Yes.
them.
Message board
I don't
sounds
even
The
use that
sign,
big
we
word.
got the new the
True.
I'm impressed.
Sounds better.
we
I know it does, doesn't it?
had repainted the sign at the transfer station.
No, we haven't put it up yet, though.
We had it painted.
Yeah, we had it painted. What do we call that? The kiosk at the community
How
garden?
do, I was just saying, how do you spell that? I was just putting message board.
Kiosk.
Who?
Kiosk. Kiosk. Just like it sounds.
Kiosk?
Right.
Could we
Such a little word and sounds so impressive, and I just use message board.
could we put with the memorial tree in there? Would that be?
For what?
I only have a page, Ronnie.
And then we can do the gloom and
Just in
doom.
case you need it. Just in case you need it.
Yeah.
Just give me ideas.
It's a good idea,
What
though.
I'm saying,
I forgot
Bob,
about
is
that.
we can do the gloom and doom, how we struggled.
Well,
and
it's
have
not
a
really
story.
doom and gloom.
But then at the end of it, we can have some highlights, like, hey, we still had the memorial tree for Pete and Nancy in honor of them. We
I mean,
did
it's
you
what
know,
we accomplished throughout the
Right,
year,
right,
so
right.
it should be noted, and it can be just a sentence. I mean,
You
this
get-
pandemic thing isn't going to take up the whole page.
No.
We got to bring the vibe back up at the end of this. We can't just
Yeah, I mean, actually, it was a nice memory thing to do, not a.
Money well spent.
Hmm.
I agree. Okay. Item B. I think that's enough for the report right now. Moving on. Ready? It's December, going to be January very shortly. I'm going to start getting serious about the mailings and the mailing list for the community garden and or the summer market, farmers market.
And I haven't been out to Agway. I did check
That
it.
was my next question.
I did check at Tractor Supply.
What's the
But
name
they,
of
Monadnock.
Monadnock.
But I'm going out that way this weekend,
Okay, you'll get me one.
so I will find you one somewhere
Because,
somehow.
last year I took last year's and I re-referenced some of the .coms to make sure the mailing addresses were right from that magazine.
I think I may have one in my truck.
A new one?
Is it a newspaper or is it a magazine?
It's like a magazine.
I got like a Monadnock, there's some newspaper they do, I think.
No, this is a magazine.
Oh, never mind. I got the wrong.
Last year it had a pig on the front cover.
This is
Right?
more.
Yeah, they
this is
have
more like the
different
journal,
pictures.
like how we get the journal, but similar to that. It's not really. Never mind.
So here's the list. Because I looked today in the office. I only got about 75 envelopes left. I need over 200. So I usually buy a box of 500 envelopes. And I looked online at Staples, number 10 envelopes, like $35 for
Really?
cheap ones for 500, $34.71.
Hmm.
That's what I saw online today.
Let me find out what they.
Self-sticky.
Yeah, let me find out at the office.
Did you get any
Okay.
more quotes or?
I got more weight. I have no labels because I have to put 2 labels on every envelope: a return address to 6 Babusick Lake Road, and then the address of the farm or vendor to be. So a box of 1,000 labels is $48.49. I get ink. We're going to pay for ink downstairs, and they're going to print some of this stuff too because it's a mass printing. I mean, I'm going to print the labels, of course, but I don't know what they charged us last year for the printing of those potential contracts for the summer market and/or the community garden.
Let me check tomorrow to see what we have to pay at the office for envelopes, because, we buy so many.
I think there were Avery's, but so
But yeah, the ones we do,
Number 10s,
they
you
just
can't see
flip
through
up
'em.
and then you seal
Right.
it down, self-seal.
I wasn't happy with the box I bought 2 years ago because I had to tape the ends. They were fuzzy. But food for thought. And then of course we get the postage, 55 cents a letter now. By
So
at
a
least
roll of stamps,
2 rolls,
2 rolls.
at least.
Okay,
Easy come, easy go. You have it all written down.
kinda.
You want to vote on this now or later?
Well, yeah, do you have it?
Like 210, 225. I don't know.
Well, why
I'll
don't we
make a
do
motion to
225?
make a motion to approve up to $225 for the purchasing of mailing supplies for the summer market as well as the community garden.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
4-0, thank you. Better we do it now than we get into January and I'm on the crunch. Yeah. I'm sure I'm going to get static from who. But
Well, we shouldn't because it's our money.
I agree, Bess. I agree, but I got to get the list rolling. Because
Well, let me check on the,
you'll let me know.
yeah, and, maybe we could just buy a box from the office.
All right.
Okay,
So that's a mailing for the community garden and/or farmers market, as far as we can see. Moving on, item D, scholarship discussion. So as I was telling Paul earlier, I spoke with Holly a week or 2 ago. New England College is in Biddeford. I suggested to her we'd love to see her over the holidays, after the holidays, and/or see what her grade point is, see how she's doing, see what her focus is on, what classes she's taking, so on and so forth. She led me to believe she didn't mind taking a ride, weather permitting, to come see us. And then today I talked with media, and we were talking about a Zoom meeting, meaning we could do it on the computers, and/or a phone meeting, just do it live phone. Our next meeting, January 13th, 2021 to savor the trip down here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just for a few minutes. I mean, that's not really, unless she was going to be home for the holidays.
So that's what I should tell her. We'll do it either Zoom or phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably phone would be
if
easiest.
she's, yeah, phone. If she's
Okay.
not going to
Just
be,
save all the steps.
you know,
at the end of the
if
day,
she was home on
it's-
vacation, that would be one thing. But I mean, even Biddeford, though it's probably not that far, that's a lot for a few
It's 100
minutes.
miles. 100 miles.
Yeah, that's a lot to ask her. I think.
We've already approved it for a scholarship as long as we get confirmation
Yeah,
of the
we're
grades
just-
Right.
and enrollment for second semester. That's really all we need.
Okay. Any other concerns?
Nope.
We're going to talk about extension classes, item E, UNH extension classes, and webinars as posted. There isn't much live right now. There are a couple live sessions, but to be safe during this crisis time, UNH extension has been doing webinars online. There's a QuickBooks course for the month starting November 30th through December 21st for farmers to get to know the bookkeeping system using QuickBooks. It's available. There is a cost. Something to think about for farms that always have paperwork problems or make life easier for them. There's a continuing class for high tunnel production, the conference, December 15th. People who want to fine tune their high tunnel crop productions. There is a small fee for that too. Farm Credit is doing a next generation program, training program for families, next generation of farmers and leaders to take management responsibilities in their ag business. There's a series of 8 1.5-hour web sessions through the month of December and January. Participants only have to honor 6 of the 8 sessions if there's a conflict. And farmcrediteast.com, Next Generation, is the site to go see if farmers are interested in learning more of that process. There is a course coming out, the third and final funding of New Hampshire COVID relief program. You have to submit applications. Department of Agriculture, there's some money available still. Keep flipping here. There is a dairy margin coverage program available to dairy producers who enroll in a DMC program with Farm Service Agency, and they get a credit for the price difference. Offers reasonably priced protection to dairy producers when the difference between their all milk price and their average feed costs fall below a certain dollar amount by producer. This comes from the Department of Agriculture. 15 cents per hundredweight of their milk produced in their farm. There's another course, January 14th through 21st of January, creating a sales forecast for their agricultural business. This is a 2-day short course to teach farmers and participants the importance of understanding the market to forecast future sales. I'm not sure if there's a fee, but they sit down with a panel of New Hampshire growers and farm panels and farm credit and develop a plan that creates revenue stability for their business. Let's see what else we might have here. I think that's all I have, you guys, today. UNH Extension is a series of webinars out there. They're constantly changing. You can get on their website and they'll email you periodically during the week and tell you what the new ones are. Most of them are free. Sometimes there's a fee involved, depending on how serious it is, but something to think about. Item F, horses.
Horses. Well, seeing we're in the holiday spirit, just a few tips for safe holiday decorating in your barn. And everyone likes to decorate your barn because horses need to have stockings and all kinds of festive thingies, but there are some tips that might help be safer. One is decorating your barn for the holidays is fun, but you'll want to make some precautions to keep your horses safe for the season. Avoid holiday greenery and garlands that incorporate toxic plants. Yew, for example, is commonly used in wreaths, and even a small amount can be rapidly fatal to horses. Hang tempting decorations out of reach. A stocking filled with carrots, for example, will likely be pulled into the stall and eaten within minutes. Worst case consequences could include choke or colic. If your horse is a sort who will nibble at anything new or unusual, keep all decorations well away from his stall and turn out space. Inspect all wiring on lights. The insulation on older light strings may deteriorate over the years, and pests may chew on the cords. When buying new lights, select those labeled for outdoor use with bulbs that do not heat up. Shut off all lights when you leave the barn at night, or use a timer or remote device or a remote device to turn them off from the house before you turn in. Don't frighten the horse. Large rustling red bows, jingling sleigh bells, and singing Santas may put you in the holiday mood, but for horses unaccustomed to the sights and sounds, they can be terrifying. Approach your horse cautiously with any unfamiliar decorations. Read his body language carefully and respect any fears he may have.
Thank you, Beth. Very nice.
Treasurer's report, moving
Please.
right along. The Agricultural Commission Farmers Market Fund account for balance as of 11/30/2020 is $4,560.09. The Community Garden Fund account is $1,308.26, with a combined total of $5,868.35.
Review of draft minutes, November 17. I changed one word,
Oh, good.
and I added
Glad you're staying on top of things here.
I gotta find it now.
Now, when we were talking about, the annual or new ideas, that was kind of written in last month,
Yes.
So you want me to repeat that in these
Yeah,
minutes?
some of
or
it,
some of
I-
it, just kind of reword it?
I think it's a continuing thing, as
Sure.
ideas or
Can do.
adjustments or something pops up.
All right.
Do what you gotta do.
Okay. So the word it doesn't matter. I'm sure it'll.
I'm trying to find it now. You had most of it, and it was a different word. It was,
Oh, well, that could be.
anyway, I added acting secretary too.
Yes, thank you. It's been very hectic lately, so.
Well, it's Christmas season. And I don't know where it is now.
Well, if you've corrected it, I'm sure it's
Yeah.
fine.
Should be corrected,
Okay.
not to worry.
Table magazine, that's what it's
So
called.
anybody want to vote on the
I'll,
November 17 minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from November 17th,
Is there a
2020.
second, please? All in favor?
Aye.
4-0, thank you. Accepted. Comments from the press? Seeing none. Comments from the public? Seeing none. Comments from the commissioners? We got a check today from Shaw's for the bag program for $7.
Oh, really?
All right.
So I deposited it with Tammy. Winter is here. All you out there listening, winter is here. Been very cold lately, and we're just getting used to it, if that's the word. For you gardeners, now's the time to order your tools and get your thoughts in order for next spring. Plan your garden more efficiently than you did this year, because you're probably going to be home a lot with the circumstances out there that are presenting themselves. And it's safer to stay home, as we all know. Seed catalogs are already out. You can order early. Spring is right around the corner again. In 2 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks, it's going to be 2021. And time is flying right by. So I can't encourage you enough to get your stuff in order, clean out the shed, clean out the garage, clean out the cellar, plan ahead. You have time to plan all winter. Because when spring comes, you're going to be turning the ground over, and all of you are going to be planting and putting seedlings in the ground and being busybodies at home. I guarantee it.
Well, I think people did a lot more canning this year because canning jar lids and things were kind of scarce. And
I
baking
order
more.
jars over the winter if they're available, if that's what you do. A lot of things to think about since we're all homebodies now. A lot of things to think about. Anybody else?
Make sure you guys buy and get your hay now while it's still out there. I had a hard time trying to get some hay, but
Already ready.
we're full now, but we're good to go.
And the Merrimack Ag Commission is looking for members or help. However you look at it. We are here the second Wednesday of every month. We have a community garden we turn on in the spring. We have a farmer's market in the summer. We need help. We need membership. Please contact us, reach out, come to a meeting. We'd love to have you.
Happy holidays, and we'll see you guys next year.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
In favor?
Aye.
Meeting ends 7:20, 12/9. Thank you all for listening.